At the age of 3 years old, I discovered monsters are real. I was born in Vermont, and at the age of 2, my mother remarried. Her husband, my stepfather, came with an older son. And in my opinion, he was a demon in a meat suit. At the age of 3 years old, the abuse began. I was abused in every way possible that should never happen to a little boy. My parents were out regularly selling Tupperware, and they left me home with him. So when I went to the doctor, he was telling my parents that the evidence of the abuse was due to my hyperactivity, but of course it wasn't. He would hide under my bed. I'd be in my room on the second-story floor of the house. I'd be in my room, and he would be hiding under my bed, and he'd jump out and grab me with making a bunch of monster noises. And that got me paranoid, so scared all the time. He'd do the same thing in the closet. He'd sit in the closet, and he would jump out and grab me. And it just became such a pattern that I started keeping my closet door open. I kept looking under my bed, trying to tuck my little sheets up, inside the bed so I could see under there. I was about 6 years old when we moved away from there, and I was free of him. We left him behind. He did not join the family, and I was free of him for a year. At the age of 12 years old, that monster I was talking about committed suicide in Winlock, Washington's parking lot, and he was gone, which I was hoping was going to be able to take away the nightmares and the assaults. It didn't. Those continued every single night for 27 years. And so that was about the age of 19. And I really started trying to focus on living a better, cleaner life, a bit more dedicated to the Lord. I still had tormenting dreams. And until the age of 30 years old, for 27 years, I was sexually assaulted in my dreams every single night. To the point where I would wake up in pain, physical pain from what happened to me in my dreams. And that tore me apart. I couldn't sleep. I got a sleeping disorder from it. The only time I did sleep was when I passed out from exhaustion. I feared going to bed at night because I knew it was going to happen. So I was laying on the couch at the age of 30, and I don't know if I was between sleep and awake, the vision, but as I was laying there, I felt the presence of what I thought was the man that tore me apart. And when I opened my eyes, it wasn't him. He was gone. But what was in my living room was the demonic spirit manifested in the physical. I was as scared as a 3-year-old little child again. I was petrified. I couldn't breathe. Everything was just froze inside of me. And behind the presence of that demon, there was an outline of a man that was glowing. That glowing man came right up behind the demon and engulfed him, and then continued to walk with that bright, shining light right up to me. And like I said, it had to have been a vision, but I jumped off that couch because I saw it was Jesus Christ. I jumped off that couch. I turned into a 3-year-old little boy again, and he caught me in his arms like a child. It was right then that I realized that he was with me the entire time. In my dreams, sometimes I was working out some of the details. I was feeling what was happening as I was a little boy. But you see, in that moment when God or Jesus came to me, and he took that away from me, and he caught me in his arms, it was all gone. And I knew that demon was gone, and I'll tell you why, because I can now sleep. That was the first night. The next night was the first time that I actually slept through the night without being abused. God is real. I didn't know about deliverances. I didn't know about demons at the time. I didn't know a lot about that. But he came to me and delivered me by myself in the living room. I didn't even know that I had that option. He just took it upon himself to bring a deliverance to me. God is so good. And I'd love to say that's where the story ends, but the reality is that something else happened that was also difficult. 10 years later, I was sitting in a hot tub, and that's where I spent a lot of time back then, praying to God and worshiping. And as I'm in there that one particular evening, the snow was falling. It was actually beautiful. I heard the Lord tell me very clearly, forgive him. I didn't have to ask for clarity. I knew exactly what he was talking about. And I said, no, there's no need to. He's gone. The demon's gone. I'm sleeping through the night. I'm living a good life right this second. I don't need to forgive him. This is good. And he asked me again. He said, I want you to forgive him. And I was like, I don't think I can. He then said, son, if you were to see what I'm going to do to him, you would feel bad. I forgave him. I released him from it. The best of my ability. What God's going to do is on him. But for me, I was completely set free. That opened up a whole new realm of understanding of the majesty of the grace of God. He called me into his ministry, and I've been doing counseling for 30 years now and focusing on interpersonal relationships, and the Lord has just blessed me nonstop ever since. The love that I have for even God was difficult because I didn't feel that closeness, emotional closeness. And once I learned how to love like Christ as he showed it to me, you see, by forgiving my attacker, my abuser, that opened me up to be able to receive his love and in return being able to give it back out. My name is Randall, and this is my testimony.